It was a cold, stormy night when our little rabbit, Rose, packed her favorite things. It was just a few things that really belonged to her heart. There was the watch that belonged to her father and didn't work anymore since years. But it was a memory of her father, and also to remind her that time doesn't really exist. At her watch, it was always 12 o'clock. She remembered well that exactly at this time, her father went through the light, and his body disappeared. But in moment of silence, she has always felt his presence. Somehow she knew that he is always by her side, sometimes a little bit above her, watching over her. Sometimes he was running in front of her to show her the way. And sometimes he was walking behind her, very still. But having her back. And in this night, he was knocking on her invisible door, and she knew she had to go. So she put the watch in her little suitcase and the green apple. Well, it was not just the green apple, because, to be honest, she was eating daily a green apple. But the green apple became very special to her. She knew that with every bite, she was not just feeding her body with vitamins, and the sour taste made her smile. No, somehow she knew with every bite, she will eat a little bit of wisdom and knowledge. And she liked this imagination that her wisdom and her knowledge grows when she is eating an apple. She smelled the apple. So fresh. So full of wisdom. And she put the apple into her little suitcase. Her suitcase was old, brown leather with a wonderful rose stitched on it on the front side. Maybe this is why I am called Rose, because of the suitcase. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the rose is on the suitcase because I am called Rose. Well, I will never know, because the suitcase has always been with me since I was born. It is my suitcase, Rose thought by herself. It was wonderful to know that you have something that really belongs to you. She looked around in her little hole in the earth. This is where she was living. It was like a beautiful nest in a cave. The light, of course. She would never forget the light. She had a wonderful old lantern. The lantern was made of iron, but over the years it became a little bit rusty. But Rose loved the color and also the smell of rust. And this lantern was her guiding light and made the room, her little nest, her little cave, so warm and cozy. Light is beautiful, Rose thought by herself. Light let us see in every corner, and it makes us feeling loved. Why do you think it makes you feel loved? Rose had to laugh. She knew already which voice she was hearing. It was the voice of the cock from the neighbor's farm. He was very wise. He was a kind of mentor to her. He never told her things. He was always asking her. And by asking her, she realized how much she actually knew. Well, that's easy. The light makes us feel loved because it's shining to us and for us. It's serving us. And it brings warmth, and it brings the sight. So it is, the cock said in her mind. Funny how others are always with us, also when they're not with us. What do you mean by this? The cock asked her in her mind. Well, I know that now, at the moment, you're for sure sleeping in the nest on your farm. But at the same time, you're here, in my cave, because I can hear you in my mind. Are you sure that you are hearing me in your mind? Rose had to giggle a little bit. Not just in my mind. Where else do you hear me? Well, I think I hear you also in my heart. It's because I love you. You are in my heart. And because you're in my heart, I can hear you in my mind. So the presence is not depending on your mind, but on my heart. Yes, of course, because my heart is open and you're in my heart, you can come out anytime you or I need it to. And so I can speak with you because I carry you in my heart with me. This realization was very important for Rose. because she would be a little bit sad to leave the cock behind. So I don't leave you behind, I take you with me. So we together go on this wonderful journey. Yes, we do. She was ready to go. Stop! She nearly forgot something. Her umbrella. She loved her umbrella. It was a pink umbrella with white little stars on it. Or maybe they are snowflakes? Well, does it really make a difference if they are stars or snowflakes? The cock asked in her mind. Well, snowflakes look like stars. Maybe snowflakes are stars, frozen stars. Yes, for me, they are stars. The funny thing was that she didn't love her umbrella because it would protect her from rain. No, she finds it a very fancy thing, and she likes to spin the umbrella, and she likes to dance with the umbrella, like an artist. She felt light when she was carrying her umbrella, and she felt free. And the pink made such wonderful light on her face and around her when the sun was shining through the umbrella. Yes, the umbrella had to come with her. So she packed the umbrella also into her suitcase. When you put the umbrella diagonally into the suitcase, it fits perfectly. So now the umbrella, the watch, and the green apple were well stored in her suitcase. Her eyes met the wonderful ice blue cloak with the hood that she inherited from her mother. There was always this little sigh in her when she was thinking about her mother, because she never got to know her mother. Her mother went through the light immediately after her birth. Father always said that Rose was a very precious gift, and to get this wonderful gift on earth, they had to sacrifice. But she knew her mother was living in her, like she was living in her mother before she was born. The cloak was made by her for Rose. So when she puts on the cloak, she always felt the embrace of her mother. And because it was a cold night, the cloak would give her the warmth and the protection that she needs. I am ready. Are we? The cock asked her in her mind. Yes, we are. When she made her first step out of the cave, it started to snow. How wonderful! This is a good sign. She was already aware that it will snow soon, because her hair went already white. This is for adapting to nature, she thought by herself. Also such a wonderful thing that happens by itself, like the snow. With her suitcase in one hand and the lantern in the other, she stepped into the woods. She loved the woods. They're like home. She loved the smell of the leaves and the soil and all the little and also the big creatures. They were all her friends. But it was very quiet in this night. It was as if she went through a portal in another world, in a world of silence and stillness. She could hear nothing but her own steps and her own breath, which, by the way, she also could see, because it was so cold. She could see her breath. How astonishing that the temperature makes us see breath. It looks like smoke, but it doesn't smell like smoke. It smells fresh, clear, and sharp. Sometimes sharp. The snow started to fall more and more. But this was perfect, because it was nearly full moon, so it wasn't such a dark night anymore. Oh, this is good, so I can save a little bit of my candle, because who knows how long it will burn and how long my way will be. You don't know how long your way will be? Well, no. Why is this? The cock asked in her brain again, and she answered, well, because I don't know the destination. Oh, so we don't know where we are going? No, we don't know where we are going, but we have to go. And this is why? Asked the cock. Well, this is because an angel told me so. Last night, an angel woke me up. Well, not really, but in my dream, he came and I was asleep also in my dream, and in my dream he woke me up and he said, "Child, it is time." At first I didn't think about what the angel was saying, because It was such a wonderful, beautiful light that was shining through the angel and at the same time coming from the angel and was touching my heart and my whole being. So I was just looking at the angel and not able to hear or say anything. So the angel had to repeat himself and said, "Child, it is time. It is time to go." And funny enough, I didn't ask the angel where to go. I just was asking when. And the angel answered, "In the next night at the same time, you will leave your cave." And how do I know where to go? And the angel answered, "I will guide you. Follow the light. Follow always the light." And then the angel disappeared. And I woke up, really woke up. So in the really bad, I woke up. "And that was it?" the cock asked. "Yes, that was all." Sounds like a very exciting journey that we are ready to embark on. Yes, we are ready. Well, we are already on the way. "You are right," said the cock. "I think your journey has already started in your dream." "Yes, that's true." "Cock, how do we know if it is a dream or not a dream?" So, I mean, in the dream I was sleeping, but I was also sleeping in the real life. So, how can we decide if it is a dream or if it is real life? The cock, as always, answered with a question. Would it be a difference if it is in your real life or in a dream? Do you know if your real life is the real life? Or maybe the real life is a dream and the dream is the real life? Either way, what kind of difference would it make for you? Rose was thinking. She understood what the cock meant. Well, the angel was wonderful, and I saw the angel, and I could feel the angel. So, the angel was real for me. So, maybe the dream is part of the true, real life. Well, my experience was real. So for me, the angel is real. For me, also the dream is real. By thinking all these thoughts and her wonderful conversation with the cock, She didn't realize that it was becoming more and more windy, but now she could feel the cold wind in her face, and she put on her hoodie of the wonderful cloak of her mother. It's getting a little bit freezing. Maybe it's time to ignite the candle in my lantern. Because it's not just about the physical warmth. I know that this candle cannot bring me that much warmth, but it can give me a kind of psychological warmth. Do you understand? It's like it's warming my heart and I don't feel like I'm in the dark. Well, then maybe it is time to enlighten your candle. So, our little Rose stopped and tried to ignite the candle with a matchbox. She tried very hard, but it was not so easy because the wind became a storm. I cannot do it. I cannot ignite the candle. I cannot. It is too stormy. Rose started to panic. The cock, as always, asked her the question, "Are you sure that you cannot ignite the candle?" Whew. Rose took a deep exhale. She knew already that now she was in fear. So breathing was always a good solution. Take a deep breath full of love and exhale all the fear. And then she remembered a dream of her father, where she had to inflame a big stake of wood, but she was so far away. And her father told her in her dream, "You want to make fire? Then make fire. You can do this just by knowing you can, and by imagining and visualizing that the wood will burn." And then she did it. In the dream, yes, she did it. And as she said before, if the dream is also reality, then she can make fire. So that means she also can ignite the candle. So with the thought of her father and the self-confidence that she can do anything she wants to do, she took another match and it was burning and she ignited the candle. Wonderful! I did it! 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 She was very happy and very proud. It was like she had to do a very difficult task and she made it. Also the cock was laughing. Did you ever doubt? And she said, well, actually I did doubt. But I didn't let the doubt get into my way. How did you do that? Well, I was remembering what I can do. So, the remembrance of what you can do helped you to do it? Yes, Rose answered. Yes, it's very important that we remember what we can do, that we remember who we are, and that we are never alone. And that time is an illusion because my father helped me now, although he was helping me years ago in my dream. And also it shows us that the dream is the reality, or at least it serves our reality, our real life on this earth. Was all that the cock said. Full of hope and energy, our little rabbit Rose went forward on her path. The storm was getting stronger and stronger. It became like an hurricane, and it was very heavy for Rose to go forward. The storm is too strong. The storm is too strong. I cannot move anymore. The cock said. When you go against the storm, what will happen? I will lose my way. I will lose my way. So, what will you do? What can you do? Rose was sighing. Okay, I have 3 possibilities. I have always 3 possibilities. My father told me that there are always 3 possibilities. So, okay, I can try to go against the storm. Or I can let me carry by the storm. Or, the cock was asking, or I can be the storm. You can be the storm? Of course. When I don't feel separated from the storm, I can also be the storm. This is also one thing my father told me. So, then, when I am the storm, I don't need so much energy by going into resistance. And I also don't get carried away by the storm like a leaf that has no own power or will. When I am the storm, I can move wonderfully in silence. But therefore, I have to go into the eye of the storm, because in the eye of the storm there is stillness. There is no wind in the eye of the storm, so when I am the storm, I can move, and I can move fast by being slow and still. Maybe then you should try this 3rd possibility and be the storm. Rose took a deep inhale, because she knew to be the storm, she has to center herself. She has to center herself to become the center of the storm, to become one with the storm. I have to center myself. And where do you center yourself? Asked the cock. Always in my heart. Always in my heart. Rose knew already the answer. The center is the heart. That's why it's called the heart center. Okay. Rose, just there where she stood, was sitting down. She was not bothered by the cold snow or the storm anymore. She put her lantern in front of her, the suitcase beside her, and then she was entering her own heart. Inside her heart was a wonderful temple. Well, her temple looked more like a natural paradise, with wonderful trees and butterflies and birds and green grass, wonderful flowers blooming and blossoming everywhere, the sun shining. And she was sitting with the bag on her wonderful tree of life. She loved her tree of life that was a big and fruitful, shiny tree of life. She was sitting and feeling the roots under the earth where she was sitting. She was calm now, and she could feel the strength of the trunk and the branches and the shining, wonderful fruits her tree of life was carrying. She became calmer and calmer, and she felt peace. This is your center, and this is my center. She was thinking and talking to the storm. Your center and my center are one. It is not about our expression. It is about the essence, the center. And I love you. And I want to work with you together. Do you want to work with me? She was asking the storm. Very, very well. I would love to work with you, little Rabbit Rose. The storm answered. I waited a long time for you to become one with me. Most of the people fear me. They think I am destructive. They don't understand my purpose of cleansing and also of going forward in a different way. So, are we ready to go? Rose had a bright smile on her face, and she said, Yes, we are ready. She opened her eyes, she stood up, she took her lantern and her suitcase, and then she jumped. She jumped into the air, and then she was one with the storm. She was dancing the path forward, sometimes even levitating and flying. Oh my God, I can fly! I can fly! She was so wonderfully surprised. All the weight was gone. She was light, but she was the one who was directing, guiding. She was the one on the wheel because she was one with the storm. She went higher and higher, and suddenly her candle went out. But she was not bothered because she saw a wonderful bright shining star on the night sky. How can this star still be so visible when it's so stormy? Well, the storm answered, because now you are the storm. Of course you can see everything. The storm is just hiding the sight of others, but not yours, because you are one with me, you are one with the storm. That makes sense, Rose said to the storm. And she remembered. Follow the light. Follow always the light. The words of the angel. We follow this star. We have to follow this star. Your wish is my command, the storm said. And so their journey became a journey to follow the star. Something good will happen. Something good will happen. Something good will happen. There was this inner knowledge that something good will happen when she follows the star. And she could feel the presence of her mother. Her mother was always this inner loving knowledge that presented itself to her. And she felt very loved and very protected and very guided by the light of the star. The star also seemed to move. So the star, the storm, and Rose were moving in the skies. Suddenly she realized that the star was coming more and more downwards to the earth. Maybe we are reaching our destination. The cock asked her, "Don't we always reach our destination?" Rose was thinking. Well, maybe we do, but because we don't know our destination, we often don't realize that we reach our destination. Rose liked the idea that we all reach our destination, but sometimes just don't realize that we do this. Well, I like the idea, so for me, yes, we always reach our destination. Maybe it's because it's destined. Oh my God, that's true. The word destiny is in destination, or the other way around. Well, so our destination is destined. And when our destination is destined, of course we will reach our destination. Rose was happy again. And now she saw the star falling. It was a wonderful picture to see the bright shining star going down to earth. And it entered a little wooden hut. Oh my God, the star is gone. Well, the cock said, where did the star go? Into this wooden hut, into this wooden hut. And maybe we also should go there? Ah yes, follow the light, follow the light. Of course we go into the hut. I think something amazing will be there for us. Then we go. So the storm took Rose to the wooden hut and put her down in front of it. The storm said, now I have to go. I leave you here. And you know, although I will be gone, I will be one with you inside your heart. Yes, we are one. And I thank you, wonderful storm. Thank you for giving me your power and your love. It was a pleasure, the storm said, and went away. Rose had the intuition to think about her suitcase, the apple, the umbrella, the watch. Maybe these are gifts, maybe these are presents, maybe I have to give them away for someone very special that is waiting inside the hut. You know, like the 3 kings that were coming to praise the birth of Jesus, the Christmas story. Oh my God! Maybe I am one of the kings who bring the presents to praise the Lord. Do you think so? The cock was asking. Yes, I do. It finally makes sense. The guiding star that I have to go now, all long journey through the cold. Yes, I am here to celebrate the birth of Jesus. Well, how do we find out if you are right? Well, by entering the hut? Well, so what will we do? We will knock at the door. And our little rabbit Rose was knocking on the wooden door, with her heartbeat raised. Whoo! It was pulsating very fast and very intensely. The door was opened by itself, and the only thing she could see was a shining, bright, golden light. "Are you ready to enter the light?" the cock asked. "Yes, I am ready." And she did one step into the light. And it was a natural way to go further and further into the light. And then she saw them. Angels, ascended masters, animals, plants, people. They were all here in a big circle, and in the middle, there was nothing. "Yeah, but where is the baby? Where is Jesus?" Rose asked, a little bit irritated. Suddenly, all angels, ascended masters, animals, plants, and people gave her a big smile. And they said, through one mouth, "Jesus has just arrived."